My name is Paola Stewart and I work at the Pender Harbour Community School. I have two roles. I do recreation programming and I work at the front desk.
What does the Pender Harbour Community School Society do?
I guess our mandate is to respond to the community's needs in terms of lifelong learning opportunities, recreation, education, and social activities. We work with both the elementary school and the high school in sort of assisting the kids in what the demands are to add to this community. We're not part of the SCRD, so our funding isn't, or the SCRD's funds don't stretch all the way up here with the bigger communities down the coast, so we have our own unique system in place up here.
Okay, and can you just give me like a really informal view of like what that system is?
We offer everything from recreation to education, whereas down the coast, the pool system down there has a lot more opportunity because we're not incorporated up here.
Okay.
So we need to run a lot of our own internal programming to facilitate the needs of Area A, which is what the Pender Harbour area and Egmont and Middle Point all come under.
How long have you lived in the area?
I've been here for 15 years.
And what made you decide that you wanted to come live up here?
We had a unique experience. I was working on the North Shore and we had friends that had parents that owned a place up here, and we thought we'd always like to try living in a smaller community. So I was on maternity leave. I took a year off to come and try living here, and we decided we loved it and never moved back.
What's the strangest thing that's ever happened to you while you've been living up here?
The strangest thing that I can share?
Yes.
It's very, I don't know about strange things. There's lots of great endearing things about this community, lots of characters, lots of opportunities for people of different economic backgrounds, of different cultures to get together and communicate and live in the same place. And I find that there's less judgment, or there's more acceptance here, and everybody works together as a family and helps each other out. I think the most difficult thing when I moved here from the city was not having access to a lot of things at whatever time I wanted to. Like, you can't go to the store after 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and it's very quiet. And even at home, there's no lights on the streets, and so your ears are ringing from the silence because it's so quiet. Yeah. I think there's just lots of opportunities. I wouldn't have been as involved in the community here. In a small community, I think you have an opportunity to get really involved and invest in the community you live in, whereas in town, I think there's so many people that you tend to just be a number, or don't feel that sense of belonging, or that you have anything of value to contribute.
What is one thing that you think is done here in Pender Harbour that you think the rest of the country could really benefit from?
The first thing that comes to mind is May Day. It's been running for, I think, over 60 years, and it's a very big event in our community. And events seem to be a great way to pull people together and also bring people outside of the community in to see what we all value here. But I think a lot of small communities do event kind of things, so it's just finding the right event that fits your community and that holds some traditions and values within the community. So May Day is huge for us here. It involves the schools and the kids, and pretty much every group or nonprofit group that we have can put a float in, and it's fun. It's an all-day family-friendly event.
Is there any other country in the world that you'd like to live in, and if so, like, why?
No, I've done a fair bit of traveling, and I have to say that after traveling elsewhere, you come back here and really appreciate where you come from and where you happen to be fortunate enough to be born. And I would not want to live anywhere else.
Is there anything specific that comes to mind as to why?
I think, obviously, being on the West Coast, it's the ocean and the mountains, and having them so close together. We're fortunate to have all the fresh air and the trees and that around us, especially in Pender. I think we're just fortunate with a lot of things that many people take for granted. And until you leave the comfort of your hometown or your country, you don't really appreciate what you do have. And there's pros and cons to everywhere, but the pros far outweigh the cons here for sure.